Probably in Badajoz when it was 118 degrees and our ice bottles would melt in 2 hours. Another time when we were in Segovia, it snowed. It snowed probably a good 3 or 4 inches, which was fairly unusual for that area. So we kind of got both extremes of the weather there. One thing I learned on my mission, I think, was probably patience. I feel like before my mission, I inherited my dad's short temper. And a lot of the times I would catch myself losing my temper on my mission when a companion would do annoying something or dump a bunch of frozen French fries in a boiling vat of oil and it would spew everywhere. I would kind of go in there and rebuke them. But I think on my mission, I learned to really kind of control that temper and roll with the punches a little bit. I also learned on my mission how to work with people as far as just being more willing to listen first. A lot of the times I think as missionaries we try to change someone's point of view on something, or we try to prove them wrong. I think a lot of the times if you just listen and even agree, if you can find something to agree on and then explain your standpoint, I feel like you get a little bit farther that way. We ate cochinillo, which is the pig in Segovia, which that was a really cool experience for me. We were serving in a members field one time. We were moving rocks in this members field. And she said, oh, well, I'm going to go and get lunch started. And keep in mind that it was probably 100 degrees outside. This was during the summer. She said, oh, I'm going to go and get some lunch started for us. And she went and she grabbed out of her trunk a plastic sack. And out of this plastic sack, she pulled out a skinned rabbit. And she broke the head off, and she broke the leg off, and she broke another leg off, and she started throwing it into this pot. And I thought, one, that rabbit's been sitting in that hot car for a while. And two, I remember as she was stirring it, I remember seeing the fangs of the rabbit's fangs, the teeth coming up and submerging back into the stew. And just kind of thinking, okay, this is my first big thing that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to eat it or not. And I remember looking over at my companion, and he looked at me, and she started dishing it up, and we just had to eat it. Food was pretty normal in Spain. The food was, for the most part, really, really good. Favorite food has got to be the Spanish tortilla and the paella valenciana. Basically, paella is rice and seafood. Sometimes you'll put chicken in it, depending on how rich or poor you are. And the tortilla is basically potatoes that are fried in olive oil, of course. And then you mix the potato in with eggs, and then you kind of cook it all together and make it's almost like a potato omelet, I guess you could kind of compare it to. Super good. Making me hungry right now. I want to go eat a Spanish tortilla. So in Alcalá, in my first area, I remember I was walking down the street with my trainer, and this big guy came up to us, and he stopped me, and he was speaking in Spanish, and I had no idea what he was saying. But I noticed that my companion was kind of a little bit nervous, and he was kind of a little bit fidgety, and I had no idea. I didn't know what was really even being said. The guy ended up leaving, and as me and my companion continued our walk down the street, I said, "What happened there?" And he said, "Oh, he was trying to get our money and our wallets from us." I said, "He tried to mug us?" And he's like, "Yeah, basically." And I had no idea that it was even happening because I didn't speak the language very well. But that was kind of another experience that once I had realized what happened, it kind of scared me. So I would say a major life lesson that I learned was probably to be yourself. I remember getting into the mission field and having this perception of what a missionary should be. You know, a missionary should always be reading the scriptures and always be talking to people about Jesus and always be preaching and always be in this almost kind of a robotic mindset. And I remember it wasn't until Segovia that I had a district leader, Elder Reader, and anybody that has served in the Spain-Madrid mission from 03 to 05 would know Elder Reader. Elder Reader told me, "You need to snap out of it. I can tell that you're not being yourself. You're being this robotic missionary." And I remember kind of looking back at how I had been through those first 6 months of my mission and thinking, you know what, yeah, I probably haven't been myself, because I love basketball and I love being outgoing and being fun and being goofy with people. And I realized that I wasn't being that. And once I learned to really just kind of be myself and be who I am, that was when I started to see more success in my mission. I would go to a park and I would play basketball with kids, and we would tell them, hey, if we beat you in a game of basketball, then you have to let us teach you about Jesus. But if we lose, we'll go on our way. And me and my companion, we both played basketball in high school. He was a 6'4" guy and I'm 6'1", but there was 6 of these kids, and so they thought, oh, we outnumber these Americans, we'll be able to take them easily. Well, we would start playing and we would crush them. And so we would end up teaching a lot of kids about the gospel from me being myself, from me, saying, hey, I don't have to be this robotic missionary. I'm going to go and have fun, and I'm going to play basketball with these kids. And it turned out to be a huge blessing. Even to this day, I feel like I try to, in business settings and church settings and callings and whatever I'm doing, I always try to make sure that I'm being myself. On my mission, again, I think I underestimated the difficulty of a mission, how trying a mission would be on my testimony. And I remember I had been in Spain for 2 weeks, and we didn't have a serious sit-down first discussion with anyone. And I remember leaving that discussion feeling kind of dejected and just wondering, gosh, am I really going to be able to do this for the next 2 years? And really having to learn to lean on my testimony and really kind of introspectively looking and going, you know what, yeah, you have a testimony, you believe that this is all true, and just keep going, just keep pushing on. Yeah, don't pack your rubber overshoes. You'll never use them. Spaniards are very stylish. So even my black trench raincoat that I brought was almost not stylish enough for Spain. They dress very nicely. Nobody ever goes outside in sweats and a t-shirt. They always dress very nice. And so I remember getting to Spain and feeling underdressed. And I ended up just buying a jacket there because I didn't fit in with the Spanish fashion, I guess. And you kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. People would look at you funny. But if you fit in with the culture and with their fashion, I feel like people were, I think, even more open to talking to us.